Today we are going to be rating AI-generated Magic the Gathering cards. Let's see what the computers these days have come up with. We are going to start the party off with Go Rolliger, a red 1 generic 0-2 nail, if I'm pronouncing this correctly. G-nail. Okay, so with the activated ability of a blue and 1 generic. Until end of turn, whenever you become tapped, you may have trample. So, in some version of the game, we are actually part of the game. We are a creature that goes on to attack other players and planeswalkers. So if we become tapped, that's okay, because we're going to have trample. Hopefully we're not being tapped before attackers, otherwise the trample is useless. But if we're attacking, then it's all good. It's all gravy. The Go Rolliger. Not a bad way to start the day off. Don't be tapped, people. Don't be tapped. Alright, we've got the Dome Shift. Black X for a 3/4 Dinosaur Rogue. Ooh, and the art for this is amazing. They actually have like a, looks like a dinosaur on a train or something like that. It's gone rogue. That train has gone rogue. It's become dinosaur. Whenever a modified creature you control attacks non-legendary creatures, each get +0/+X and gain double train skeleton. So I guess they become what we see in this image. They gain double train. This must be some, it must be like double strike, but it hits you way harder. Hits you like a train. Trains hit hard. Double train sounds dope, exactly. When you have drank too much, gain beer muscles. What? Anyway, yes, anyway, we got the Dome Shift. We're gonna dome you for double train. Moving on, we've got the Cradle of Law. We've got a black, 2 generic. It's an aura. Enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, exile it and target permanent. When enchanted creature dies, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Okay, this is a head scratcher. When it deals damage, exile it and target permanent. Who gets to choose the permanent? I guess you get to choose the permanent. So, creature deals damage, whether it's your creature or somebody else's, it's gone. But if it dies, so if we destroy it, then we get to look at the top cards, top X cards of our library, where X is our devotion to blue. All on top of this card is very strange. Liquefy says, double train, the Thomas the Tank Engine meta. Oh yes, they're gonna bring up the Thomas the Tank Engine secret layers when this thing comes out. Tommy says this is surprisingly playable. Very playable. Suicide Bomber enchant. I guess? Maybe? Anyway, we got the Shambling... Okay, next comes the Shambling Remains. A white 3 generic instant. Create a 3/3 green dinosaur creature token named Hound Cool. Alright, Hound Cool, welcome to the world. If the creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Alright, so long. Nice knowing you. 5 mana for a 3/3 instant green dinosaur? In white? Is this a dinosaur that we're looking at? I can't tell. This is a very funny looking dinosaur. It's a dinosaur that's caught up in the bed sheets or something. Does dealing damage and dying in combat triggers both abilities? Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question. What if it dies? If it deals... Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, exile it and target permanent. You know what? I think if it dies in combat, it would die first before this thing triggered. I think it would die first before it triggers, to be honest. Jay says 5 mana, 3/3 in white. That's terrible. Ship it. Oh yeah, we're supposed to rate these things. Okay, we can ship this thing. I think we can ship all of these. I don't know about the train one, actually. I don't know if we can ship the train one. I don't know what double train skeleton... Actually, it almost looks like... I don't know if skeleton is part of the ability, or skeleton is a person who's being quoted saying all this, given this really long dash. But anyway, we're gonna give it a no-no there. All right, going. Hoond cool. Oh, you are cool, aren't you? You got your shades on and everything. Artificial intelligence makes good art. Very, very good art. Who wouldn't play this 3/3 dinosaur in their deck? Okay, we have the Extinctive Blade. The Extinctive. 1 red, instant. Extinctive Blade deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Don't give it to Dredge. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how... I mean, I think they would have to have it in their hand, but don't give it to Dredge. Or would that be good in Dredge? Maybe it wouldn't be good in Dredge, because they're regurgitating their creatures from their graveyard back into their... Sorry, back into play. I don't know who would play this card, but don't give it to them. Maybe a mill player or something. Where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. No, a self-mill player. Those Nogak decks. Staple in Dredge. Nikachu, is it dinosaur or dinosaur? I'm more in the dinosaur camp. Dinosaur. I don't think it's a diner. That sounds weird to me. No, we're just like, wow, that's strong. Breaks color pie a bit. It deals damage. Like, what, you know. They're like, red is buddies with black. They're allies. And the Deuce saying, that's interesting flavor text. The goblins spill and crumbled for salt, and the screeching elsewhere, and imagining enough to eat the faithful only work. That's right. That's what happens if you get the AI to do your homework. Don't completely trust them to make good essays. The teacher will know. Is this AI generated? Well, how could you tell? Because it doesn't make any sense. It sounds so, when it's so profound but goes nowhere, that's when it's AI generated flavor text. I guess it could work. It's a little cheap though. Yeah, well, you still have to get the cards in the graveyard, so hey, work. Get to work. I think this is a pass. We can pass this one. Okay, we got the Protean Scare. The art scares me enough. Blue, 1 generic sorcery. Each player discards a card. If you control a commander, you may search your library for a non-legendary creature or planeswalker card. Put onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Since when did blue tutor things into play like this? You may search your library for a non-legendary creature or planeswalker card. And any planeswalker! For 2 mana, put like, I don't know... What's the worst planeswalker we could put into play? There's tons of planeswalkers that I don't even consider because, like, they're really expensive and useless. Brian's like, broken, keep it. Infinity is like, no, we're going to shred this thing. Commander staple right away. Make planeswalkers playable. There was a tweet that I saw the other day, like, you don't have to worry about planeswalkers in Commander because none of them are playable. Get Nicobolus. Big Daddy Nicobolus. 2 mana for that, just shred it. Oh, yeah, what are we on? We're on shred or ship. I think a lot of you guys are on shred. There is not any non-legendary planeswalkers though. No, you can get it. No, if you control a commander, you may search your library for a non-legendary. You can look for a non-legendary, a creature, or a planeswalker. So basically anything. You want to look for in your library for something, go for it, because something's going to be non-legendary, a creature, or a planeswalker card. Put it onto the battlefield. Like, you could look for an artifact, I guess. What's the full potential of this card? I guess you can look for an artifact, because it's a non-legendary. You can't search planeswalkers because planeswalkers are legendary. When it's worded like this, does it really mean non-legendary like, I think when they put non-legendary, comma, they mean that's one type of card you can look for. Creature, comma, or planeswalker card, comma. I don't think it's non-legendary creature or, like, otherwise it'd be like non-legendary, I think, creature at the same time. Do we have a judge? Judge! Judge, I need to interpret this card. Not all planeswalkers are legendary, are they? I think all the planeswalkers are legendary. The only thing this thing can't search for are legendary lands. That's right. Hold on. Search for a non-legendary, a creature, or a planeswalker. Oh yeah, it's restricted to legendary lands because you can't look. You have to look for a non-legendary. That is funny. And I think there's some legendary artifacts, are there not? I think there's some legendary artifacts. You can't find a legendary non-creature, non-planeswalker, if I'm understanding this correctly. It says or, so you can tutor for a planeswalker. There we go. Yeah, legendary artifacts also get off the table. All right, well, but we can all be in agreement. You can look for anything, but we ain't printing this card. Nope. Not this one. 2 mana. Well, I don't know. It's for commander, so maybe we can. Like, don't worry. Like, don't worry, what's it called? Legacy players, pauper players, because this apparently looks like a common. Looks like it's getting printed at common. Maybe we can print this card. Let the commander players figure it out. If they think it's broken, well, whatever, they can go ban it. It's not going to affect Legacy or any of those other formats. Portent Man. Aw, damn. I was hoping it was going to be Portent on a creature. Okay, well, we got the Azorius colors. Blue-white for a 0/0 flying with Foretell. But it's just going to die. He's got no power or toughness. It's the Ghost Assassin or something. Completely worthless. And you could foretell it. So you can foretell it. It's like, I can't remember what foretell does. It's not anything, right? It's like not even a creature if you foretell. Actually, do you have any power and toughness in foretell land, or are you just sort of like off to the side, exiled, waiting to become something? Exactly, Joey. What am I looking at? I don't even know either. It's perfect for bluffing. Or I don't know if it's good at that because, like, you're just bluffing for no reason. You could bluff with literally any other foretell card. What is a Torton? A Torton assassin? I have no idea. That is really expensive for an ETB and a die and a die trigger. Yeah, get your die triggers here. Get your die triggers. Anyway, I don't know. I think you could print it, but I don't think it's useful, so I think it's useless. There is a creature with a worse stat line. Yeah, junk. Send it to the gallows. Shred it. Shred it with the same printer everyone's gonna buy after they heard about the Magic 30 cards. All right, Sarah's Silencer. All right, Sarah's Silencer. Can we position? There we go. Sarah's Silencer, blue 6 generic for an 8/8 trampling dragon worm. Nice border, by the way. I think this border looks sick for a dragon. Okay, so we've got a dragon worm trampler. As long as you control a permanent of your commander, create 2 artifacts and or creatures. Well, we get to just conjure them up out of our imagination. We create 2 artifacts and or creatures. They could be anything. We create artifacts. Create any creature. All right, everybody. I'm creating and any creatures. Oh, no, I can create 2 creatures. Okay, so I could make a creature. I could make an I could make a creature that's like a 20/20 infector with flying, trample, unblockable, indestructible, and then I could have an artifact that whenever a creature attacks, untap this artifact, and the artifact has tap, get an extra combat step after this combat step. Then I attack with my creature, artifact untaps. You know, I could make anything. Too easy. As long as you control it. But the hard part is you need to control a permanent of your commander, whatever the hell that means. Are there any permanents of your commander? Maybe that's the tricky part. If you can pull that off, you deserve to win like this. Make an I win the game artifact. Yeah, what would you make for your I win the game artifact? You'll let us know in the comments section below. And what's your I win the game creature? Create 2 artifacts and or... It's funny it says and or creatures. Actually, I can have 2 game-winning artifacts and can have 2 game-winning creatures at the same time. An alternate universe Sarah Sphinx. You don't get to make anything. It says create. I think we're gonna make. Well, I don't know what else they mean by create. Create 2 artifacts and or creatures. Like which ones? I believe that you're gonna decide them. All right. Moving on. Hold on. Are we shipping or shredding this? Probably it's too dangerous if we get to make the damn cards. Okay, we have Rolling Tower of Power. It sort of looks like one of those cat towers. And it is a creature cat, but before we look into this card, we do have to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic cards. Look, Infinity's coming out. Get your Infinity. Get those Shocklands. They have beautiful Shocklands. They've got the beautiful new Hollow Fountain and Stomping Grounds. New unique Infinity arts. Deal of the week this week, though, is save 15% off all Shocklands. I guess they're getting in this deal before the Infinity stuff comes out. They're getting the deal in before the Infinity stuff. So, but to celebrate those Shocklands, hey, you can get anything from Dragon's Maze or Zendikar Expeditions or Secret Lairs. Deal of the week, 15% off all the Shocklands at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu, though. That'll get you an additional 5% off, but also supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Your ability to play any deck, any format, anytime you want. If you're feeling like vintage, because you want to play... For everyone that wants to play with Black Lotuses and Moxens and the Sapphires and play with Soul Rings in a legal format, you can play Vintage. And how are you going to play the Vintage? You can rent the decks using Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_G8M. Sweet. And now back to, whoops. Nope. Back to this. Looking at the Rolling Tower of Power. It's rolling. I think it looks like it has a cat tail. Is that a cat tail over there? What the hell am I looking at over here? The cat is out of the picture because it decided to play with the box. This tower came in it instead. Yeah, exactly. That happens all the time. Okay, so we got a 2/2 cat first strike with Bestow. So we can put this on other creatures. If you cast this card for its Bestow costs, it's an aura spell with enchant creature. It becomes a creature again if it's not attached to a creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. That actually has some flavor to it. You know, you give the cat a toy, and then all of a sudden, it's of no power. The tower is a cat. No, yeah, you know what? That's right. This is a creature. This is a 2/2 creature. Here are the paws. Okay, so I guess here's the paws. Here's another paw. Here's its tail. I don't know where its head is at. Where its head is at, it's up to... I don't know. I don't know where it is. Yo, it's a bad creature, but also pacifism. That's right. So it's not that bad. It actually has some playability to it, so... Did they do that? Did they make any Bestow creatures that acted like pacifism? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's actually kind of cool. A removal or a creature, but should have better stats. Yeah, and you give the you actually give the other... I guess you give the other creature first strike? Or maybe not. I can't remember. Maybe you just give the abilities below here. Alright, we got the Massamori Supplicant. Alright. 3 generic artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, if it isn't your main phase, add 1 mana of any color for each creature card in your graveyard. When you cast a spell, if it isn't your main phase. So, if I cast spells on my opponent's turn, if I cast spells at my upkeep during the combat step, I get to add 1 mana of any color for each creature card in your graveyard. How would you guys like that? Wojtek is like broken. That's broken, says Wojtek. Looks broken, storm off. But how many creature cards would be in the graveyard of a storm player? Would there be a lot? I think storm players, they have a lot of instants. They got a lot of sorceries. I honestly don't know how to break this card. I understand. Someone's gonna... Oh, you can cast creature spells, I guess. I guess that's how you break this card. You have a bunch of creature spells in your deck. So creatures with flash, you can play them on your opponent's turn. Then you get a bunch of mana to play other creatures that you have. Cycle Storm could use this. Oh! Oh, that's a good one. Cycle Storm could probably use this. Mono Red Storm runs a good chunk of creatures. Yeah, wait, I retract that. Didn't read the creature bit. Don't worry, Wojtek. Don't second guess yourself. Other people are discovering that this thing is broken. I don't think Dredge would use this. A lot of the Dredge creatures, they just come back to the battlefield. And they only cast stuff on their main phases for the most part anyway. Yeah, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay. You don't do anything. There are storm creatures in Magic. There are. You cycle... Yeah, so I think Witherfang broke the card. You cycle the creatures, then you ritual spells, then that cycle pay off that deal damage per cycle card in graveyard. Yeah, flash create. So there's like you could make a cycle storm deck. You can make a flash creature deck. Either way. No free mana. Too free. A little too free for us. AI. Alright, we've got the Scrib Clusade. It's a legendary instant. We don't have enough legendary instants in this game. For a green and 2 generic, it's got an activated ability. On an instant. Pay 1, sacrifice a creature. Actually, it's not even pay 1 colon. It's pay 1 comma. Sacrifice a creature, exile Scrib Clusade, and target planeswalker you control. If it danger, that creature can't be creature this turn. I don't know. Do we end the stream on that one? Do we end the stream on that one? No, I'm just kidding. We're not ending the stream. We're only halfway through here. What does it even do? Does it even do anything? Can you activate this in your hand? And it sounds like everything is part of the activation card. You have to pay 1, sack a creature, exile Scrib Clusade, and target planeswalker you control. And then if it danger, that creature can't be creature that turn. Okay, so this is how I'm interpreting this. Let's say you're in danger. You think you're in deep crap. You can say like a creature is not a creature this turn, like an attacker, for example. So if someone's attacking you and you feel you're in danger, no, that's not a creature anymore. Wait, what are you talking about? I played the Scrib Clusade. Yeah, I'm gonna pay 1, sack a creature, exile it, and also exile one of my planeswalkers. If it danger, I think there has been a spell with an activated ability before. Let me try to find it. Maybe. You basically pay 1, sack 3 during combat to stun a creature. This is how I'm interpreting this card. Go home, AI, you're drunk. And it's an instant, too. I love the idea of a legendary instant with an activated ability. That's right, new design space. Judge! It danger! It danger! Why did you do that? The judge pulls me away from the table. Well, why did you do that? Because it danger. It danger, Judge. Okay, I understand. Yes, perfectly understandable. Shred because it's confusing. Cool art, though. The art is always a banger here. Lightning Storm is an instant with an activated ability. Is it? Oh yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. How long... my time has passed so much I forgot. Oops, what did I do? Oh. Anyway, I guess we have to shred this thing. It's a stupid card that does not entirely make sense, and It Danger isn't part of the Magic the Gathering, like, terminology yet. Cycle is an activated ability. Oh, that's true. Oh, we're all of a sudden, tons of activated abilities. But do they have a cost? Like, okay, forget it. They all have costs. Moving on. Mugging Feast. What is the flavor of this? You're gonna mug someone and then feast on them or something? Did you mug this? Is this a human being? No, they mugged and took a chicken. This is definitely a fowl of some sort. This is a very interesting artwork, though. Blue 1 generic sorcery. Look at target player's hand and choose 4 cards from it. Exile Mugging Feast. It did nothing. It literally did not. I thought this thing was gonna be broken as hell. I was like, my heart rate and my stress level went up when it said choose 4 cards from it. But then in the end, you just exile Mugging Feast. Mugging is usually a foul thing. Just saying. Oh, there we go. There we go. I had the sound effect for you. Strictly worst peak. Well, in every single way. You don't even choose. You don't even draw a card out of it. Worst peak ever. Just choose it, and yeah, I'm gonna choose these 4 cards. Opponent looks at me, and then what? Well, then nothing. I'm gonna exile my Mugging Feast. All right. Well, it's harmless, so I think we definitely can pass. Remember, we're R&D. We're trying to find out what cards can we print here. We can go into our metagame. Seems like it's missing tip your fedora and compliment or insult the opponent based on the quality of cards chosen. Ah, yes! We could do that. Choose 4 cards. These cards are garbage. You should know better. Play other stuff. Okay, Temple of Eris Troll. Green, 4 generic for a 3/3 spirit. Whenever Temple of Eris Troll becomes untapped, tap all lands. That is interesting. That is very interesting. So on your turn, your opponents, including yourself, are all going to be tapped out. That is a very unique card. And it's not like it's cheap. I mean, you got to spend the 6 mana to get this thing out. Joey's like, what? What have we made? What have we invented here? So you untap it, tap all lands, everybody's lands. This feels like an alpha card with this downside. Probably, though, you build your deck in a way, you know, you have a lot of mana producers. You got, like, the Birds of Paradise out. You've got Wall of Roots. You got the artifacts, the Soul Rings, the Mana Crypts. So, I mean, so long as you have alternate sources of mana, you don't get nailed so hard. And to be fair, in Commander, you never have mana. But it only hurts the mana on... No, it could actually if you could, there's so many cards that untap, right? Like those Inspire cards? Is it Inspire? No, but that's not, it doesn't have the Inspired ability. What cards untap? Paradise Mantle? No, Paradise Mantle doesn't. Paradise Mantle is a tapping. So here's the trick. You want to try to use some ability that untaps cards and then do it on the opponent's turn. And make sure that everybody is always going to be tapped down for every single turn. Because it's whenever it's untapped. So naturally at your untap step, boom, everyone's going to be tapped out. But if you can untap it on your opponent's untap steps, that's the key. That's the trick. There's people in the comments section already just conjuring up their combos with this card. Make it into an artifact and use Clock of Omens. There we go. We broke it. We broke the card. Freed from the real. Oh, yeah. Simple enough. No, actually, hold on. What's freed from the real? Freed. Does that have an activated ability? It has an activated ability. So the problem is, how do you keep activating it on every single one of your opponent's turns? Because on one turn, you're gonna tap all your stuff. You're gonna tap all your lands. It's a trick. It's the tricky part. Whoops. It's the tricky part. Dies to Bolt, says Ivan. Yep. Yeah, it does that too, but no one's going to play Bolt in Commander. Who's playing Bolt in Commander? Because that's the only place I think this is gonna see any play. Okay, Deny of Silence. So it's gonna get loud in here. Sorcery. It's a colorless sorcery. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, scry 1. And by the way, it costs no mana. It has no mana cost. So get your Cascades out. I think that's the only Cascade. Then there's that blue enchantment for 3 mana that you can cast cards equal the number of counters or less on it that you put on every turn. Can only be cascaded into. There's an enchantment. I can't remember. What is that blue enchantment? There's a blue enchantment that you can cast cards equal to the mana cost of the card. Equal to the mana value of the number of counters on the enchantment. I don't remember what it is. Value for Cascade. I think this is a pretty crappy card. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, which I guess would be a Rhino, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. But every so often, as foretold. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. As foretold. You could cast it in As Foretold deck. It's not even that great. But anyway, you know what? I think you could print this, honestly. No, I don't think anything's gonna happen. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay, chat. It's 0 mana, but I think this is a 0 mana card that isn't gonna be broken. Lofty Territor. Green 2 generic Wolf Spirit 2/2 creature. As Lofty Territor enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Alright, I'll choose Wolf. Pay 3, tap. Target player reveals a card at random from their hand. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. Oh, we've stolen cards! Oh yeah, we could have named Zybers. I forgot we should have named Zybers. I take it back. What's the point of naming a creature type? That was completely pointless. Enter the battlefield. I'm going to declare Zybers. What are you going to do about it? Target player reveals a card at random from their hand. If it's a creature card, you can reveal it to everyone and then put it into your hand. Hand stealing, ship it. We've done it. I'm sure at the end of the game you got to give it back, and it's not like people don't know what. It's gonna have a different sleeve from your sleeve. Those darn stealing wolves. Yes, that's exactly what they do. They're stealing things. Still don't know what the point of choosing a creature type is, though. Off color, kinda. Maybe since green equals creatures, but you know what? Green just can do anything. That's the whole deal. These days, green can do anything. Auntie is back. I don't think you get to keep the card. They should just say at the end of the game, give the card back. Doesn't say you have to give it back. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. But it doesn't say you own it. It's just you put it into your hand. You're not the owner of the card. Anyway, I don't think R&D would print this card, to be honest. I think they would shred this card. It's like, you can't put the cards in someone else's hand. I looked. They never once did that. The best you get is like, you get to exile your opponent, the top of your opponent's deck as you draw cards. Josh, thank you so much. I have a new super chat music. A lot of these cards are missing one small change to being valid. Like if it's the chosen creature type, you put it into your hand. Exactly. It's just missing that one little piece. The AI just couldn't put those pieces of the puzzle together. You like that new sound effect? You're the first one, Josh. Hope you're a huge Sonic fan. Sonic! Exactly. There is an anti-card that puts an opponent's card in your hand. Oh yeah, yes. Do you know what? I think you're right. That is correct. I think we saw it the other day too, because it was really, really difficult to read. Okay, what's it called? How do I center this thing? Kikria. The Coland. He's from Coalland. That's what it is. The Coalland. Kikria. But it's Jace. Jace is taken on another form. So if you ever see someone named Kikria online, it's Jace. This is just his online handle. All right, blue 2 generic for a legendary 7 loyalty planeswalker at 4 mana. Oh god. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Redonkulous. +1 creatures tap this turn can't cause. Okay. And then -8, you get an emblem with whenever a creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Oh wow, one creature gets 1 extra special counter. Yeah, can't cause. Nope, no more causing. The cause is over. Can't cause anything. 'Cause why? Judge can't cause. It danger? Yeah, exactly. Jikria. Yeah, can't cause. Use due to danger. I can't cause. Easily one of my favorite artworks now. Yeah, it's amazing how smart AI is when it comes to artwork. They're incredibly smart. Tries to break the universe by removing causation. Yet you remove cause and then boom, and completely unstable. I don't know what this card does though. I think actually this is a really rubbish card. I mean, I guess we... Dude, hold on. No, the emblem is like really easy to pull off. You just +1 and then go -8. You get an emblem whenever a creature you control dies, put a counter on everything. That is busted. That sounds really strong. In some sort of sacrifice deck. Like, this is already... If you've got Persist, this would be a huge Persist emblem. Because you could sack the creature, comes back. Whenever creature control dies. I guess you need 2 Persist creatures on the battlefield. They can't cause, so they get removed from the game. Can't cause anything, like damage or other effects. They can't cause. You can't cause anything. Are you trying to cause damage? Well, you can't anymore, because Kikria said that. Creatures tap this turn, but only creatures tapped, and only on this turn. That is weird. But the creatures can't cause. Anyway, I'm shredding this stupid thing. It's messing with my brain. Warbound Invoice. Is this trying to be an invoice, or is Invoice actually something? 11 mana! Red and 10 generic for an 8/16 beast with Convoke. Alright, so we can ramp this thing out with our creatures. Return all dragons you controlless to their owner's hand. Return all dragons you controlless to their owner's hand. I don't think it's an average card. Brian wants to hear the Sonic sound again. You got it. Just want to hear the Sonic 1-up music again. Oh, is that the 1-up music? Couldn't remember. Should get some more Sonic music. I pledge my loyalty to Nintendo, but hey, even then, I liked Sonic. Couldn't beat the game for Game Gear, though. I didn't know how to use the glider, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. I get so long to that game. Yeah, I would spend like 2 hours playing that game, get to the glider moment, get onto the hand glider, and just dive into my death and waste all my 1-up, all my lives. Has Convoke, though. Yeah, so it's pretty reasonable. What does return all dragons you control less to their owner's hands? Return all dragons... I guess he just means... the dragons you don't control? I guess it means it just the dragons you control. It's just a typo. Brian's like, the Game Gear Sonic games are rough. I know! It was rough for me. Okay, ignoring the second ability, that's not as bad. Red likes to play wide with goblins and such. You could drop it early. It is possible. A goblin deck might be able to pull this off. You basically need Death Touch to lil this in combat. Artwork 10 out of 10. English text 2 out of 10. That 16 toughness though, yeah, it's gonna eat up an Emrakul. We're gonna block an Emrakul. Okay, whatever, we'll let it pass. Just make sure that... Just use spell check next time, please. Please AI, use spell check next time. All right, Lash. Red 2 generic, instant. Each player may put a +1/+1 counter on target non-human creature, and then Lash deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. That is funny. So each player may put a counter on target non-human creature, but if you do, if you need that counter so badly, it's going to deal 3 damage to that creature's controller. Would anyone use this card? Like, okay, so from my perspective, this card looks absolutely useless, but maybe some commander player out there wants this card. Hello, not Justin. Balanced, as all things are. It's not exactly group hug. I mean, it's group burn. You give them a counter and then you burn them. Deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. So everyone gets a everyone could put a counter, but if you put the counter, your game bolted, is what it does. You can target their creatures? Why? No, each player may put a counter. I don't think we're on target non-human creature. Oh, everyone gets to do that. Lash deals 3 damage. So everyone's going to want to put a count. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, so everyone gets to do this. So everyone could gang up on one person, actually. Like, so 3 people could put a counter on one creature of one player and deal 9 damage to them. That is a very interesting political card. Yeah, you can put the counter on someone else's creature to burn them as well. Works with red, white, knight that prevents sorceries from damaging you and permanents you control. This is a very interesting card. Very well designed. This is the best thing that they've designed all day, that's for sure. Alright, we have a lot of ship-its. Someone call R&D! Someone call R&D. Get this thing printed. Yeah. I like the flavor. Lash. We're gonna lash ya. But we're also going to give your creatures counters. Alright, Verdant Toffter. 3 generic mana for a 3/2 Rads. Pay 2, tap, return target mono-colored instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to hand. It's like it's a colorless card, basically. It's a colorless Rads. The seems fine. Tap, I mean, you get to, it's a slow Snapcaster Mage that's recurable over and over again. Yeah, Rads versus Zybers when? That's gonna be the next dual deck. It's gonna be the next, what, are they called dual decks, or am I thinking of Yu-Gi-Oh? This card is rad as F. It's slow, so it's okay, says Coffee and Buns. Flavor's pretty cool. Is it? What's so rad about getting cards back from your graveyard? Your microphone has cat hair on it. Oh, you better believe it. Everything has cat hair on it. Well, I guess I can vacuum the cat hair on the ground, but on my microphone, I just can only pick at it. It's a war I've long lost a long time ago. Anyway, I guess if you guys don't think it's broken, and I guess it's not crazy, return target monocolored instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, this is fine. No broken. Okay, we have a very unique art here. Give Simile, black, white, 2 generic for an instant. Exile all cards from your graveyard. For each permanent card exiled this way, give Simile deals 1 damage to each creature defending player controls. Okay. Okay. Vacuum your microphone? Nah, it doesn't work. Also, I don't really like putting the vacuum so close to my microphone. The vacuum has been in like really dirty places, and I put my mouth really close to this thing. It feels like I'm putting my mouth really close to the vacuum at that point, if you know what I mean. Dredge card, that could be a dredge card. That could be a dredge card, because they are putting tons of permanents in the graveyard. IKEA have those glued rollers that you use to roll off hair. Actually, I have them. That's a good idea. Do you know what? I could do that. I do own those. It's decent if you're not doing anything else, says Not Justin, with your graveyard. Hasn't your cat been in some dirty places? You know what? Technically, yes, but I don't think about it that way. They clean themselves at the very least. My vacuum does not. Excellent for that Alpha Strike. All right, we can... This is definitely going to be a pass. This is the most magic-looking card we've seen all day, to be honest. Exile cards from your graveyard for each permanent card exiled this way. Deal a damage. Atak! Atak! Alright, Green Instant. If Atak is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with a Forest or Pranist card in your graveyard. Search your library until end of turn. Well, absolutely. You may begin the game with a Forest. So do you, like, just conjure it up out of nowhere? Because it doesn't say you take it from your library or anything like that. And then you get to search your library just in case you forgot what's in your library. You get to constantly look through your... Whoa, wait a minute! Wait, hold the fort here. Search your library until end of turn. But also doesn't say shuffle your library. There's a few things broken with this card. First off, you don't have to shuffle your library. So you can keep searching your library and then, like, just reordering it however you want. It's not pointless. The fact that it says search your library and not shuffle means you can stack your deck. Basically, yeah, you don't need to shuffle it. So, until end of turn, you can stack your deck however you want. That's the Atak. You want to know? We are going to attack you with a stacked deck. How would you break this card? I think the top part is you have to search. Well, yeah, you do have to search your library. Yeah, you have to search until end of turn. You have to search. Atak must be from Old Drain. Even if you can't stack, but just view library, not too shabby. What do you need to view your library for? You know what's in your deck. Or have you lost track of what's in the game because of things that have gone to the graveyard in exile? Good with the last card, so you can start with a permanent in the graveyard. It doesn't say rearrange though. No, but it doesn't say shuffle. So hold on, what are you guys saying? It says, like, it never says rearrange or anything like that when you look through your library. So you guys interpreting this like you can look through your library anytime, but you can't change the order? That would be a neat card. Not gonna lie, that would be neat. Like, oh, I've got Soul Ring coming up 5 cards from now. I gotta dig for it. Imagine a world where we're allowed to search our library, but we can't change the order of the library. Knowing is valuable. You know your curve and can plan. Since you don't need to shuffle, even if you can't stack, you can still write down every card you see in order. Oh my, are you gonna be that person? Just take a picture of it. Just take a picture of the order of your library, and then with HD, you can, like, zoom in. You're gonna write down every single card. All right, everyone, I'm gonna talk for this turn. You guys can go take a lunch break, because I'm gonna write down the order of my deck from here on out. And then on the next turn, you, like, fetch. Free Delver, you can reorder. Knowing all your future. Okay, so we're gonna assume... Okay, let's say that does exist. I think this is pretty cool. That being said, I don't know what a Pranist card is, so, I mean, it's going to get disqualified for that reason. But I think the idea of searching your library, that's unused design space. Searching your library without reordering it and without shuffling it, I think that's cool. That might be a huge game slower downer. All right, the Collective the Seattle. Collect the Seattle. Red, 2 generic. Anyone from Seattle out there? If this is Seattle, why do they have, like, the CN? Why do they have the CN tower here? Instant. Collective the Seattle deals 4 damage to each creature and each player. Then you get to scry 1. Simple enough, to be honest. Simple enough. A convolution is doing someone else but my end all the tangle countless ancient signal planeswalkers. Puris Sophia the philosopher. Yes. Hell yeah! Ship it! Yes, Collective the Seattle. That's what they do in Seattle. They burn all creatures and planeswalkers. All creatures and players for 4. Again, another banger. And by banger, I mean actually a printable card. Oh, look at that full art of Collective the Seattle. Oh, that's great. I'd pay money for this. Oh, that's a beautiful full art version. Oh, here we go. Okay, we got Techsef Dread. Black, Phyrexian Black, Gruul Hybrid, and 2 generic for Vile. The legendary artifact creature planeswalker Vile. It's Vile itself. It's probably Ether Vile in creature form or planeswalker form. You know how we always turn artifacts into creatures? Well, now we've turned the artifact into a planeswalker. Okay, it's 3 loyalty. Cohors planeswalker. Sure. Okay, whatever. -3. Low or flip, bet, or swow, less walk. This deserves extra buzzes. The swow. Swow, less swow, less walk. Swow down. Swow down. Lower flip bets. Yeah, clear. It's clear as day. Yeah, right. This doesn't make any sense. All right, moving on. It's ahead of its time. It's too. You know what? It's just a card that's too ahead of its time. One day when we get gambling back into Magic the Gathering, if that ever happens, I'm sure low or flip bet is going to make sense. Or we could do the swow less walk. There'll probably be like different speeds of cards. And it sacks itself immediately. It has no purpose. It comes in at 3 loyalty and just sacks itself. And it's gone. Yeah, that's future sight. It's future sight. This is Magic as Richard Garfield interpreted it for 2050. Okay, we have a land, Floodist Armor, tap for generic, or you can pay 2. Target creature becomes an island in addition to its other types. Interesting. It becomes an island in you can just pay 2 mana, and it's not a tap ability, so you have infinite mana. You can turn all creatures into islands. What does that do though? Okay, so let's say you turn a creature into an island. Judge, is it still a creature? Or does it just become an island? I think it just becomes an island from here. Target creature becomes island. Because it wouldn't say it. Oh no, sorry, in addition to, oh sorry, it says it clear as day on it, in addition to its other types. So you turn your, so you have to boil them. Yeah, you can boil the creatures. Merfolk staple. Oh yeah! So you can turn your opponent's creatures into an island. You have Island Walk. Yeah, in addition to the creature, so it can tap as a land. Now more people in the comment section are going to be like, Nikachu, you don't read the cards. Why can't you just read the card, Nikachu? I love your stream, but you don't read the cards. I read the cards, but the brain don't interpret it at the same time. What I read and what I understand are 2 different things. Ashaya does the same thing with forests. What, turning creatures into forests? It can produce mana, I guess. That's neat. All right. Now is it broken? Probably not. You have to pay 2 mana. That's a huge investment, but it's permanent. It actually becomes permanent. Oh, thank you, Trevor, for the super sticker. I can't see the sticker, but everyone else on the live stream can, so they can enjoy the sticker. It's always someone nice and dancing. It's just spreading seas as a land. Yep. Well, and we don't draw cards. It would be perfect though. Yep. Keep turning. But you need your opponent to have a creature. If your opponent doesn't have a creature, it's useless. Or even get this: we turn their lands into creatures and then make them become islands. Yeah, it doesn't say until end of turn. It's an island. It's an island now. Also protects your creatures from some board wipes and removals. No, it's still, it becomes an island, and it's still a creature, in addition to its other types, so it'll still die. I like it! Print it. Maybe I'm biased. I'm the merfolk player. Maybe I'm biased. What for Gove? What Gove? All right, what Gove? Oh, this could be broken. It's a hybrid of white or a blue. Who said white card? There aren't any good white cards at 1 mana. Instant. Copy target player with 2 Blinknishiok counters on it. We get to copy the player? What the hell does that mean? Like copy their board state and everything that they have in hand? Copy target player with 2 Blinknishiok counters on it. Now I have 2 friends. I'm gonna make a copy of you. Sick art, but doesn't make sense. No, it makes perfect sense. It's just not practical. You're not gonna be too powerful. I want to copy myself. Oh yeah, you can copy yourself. I guess that's the whole point. So I copy myself. I've doubled the board. Double the board. Now there's 2. Now there are 2 of them. We should not have made this bargain. OP and, yeah, super OP and commander. Make 2 copies of yourself. Or if we need, yeah, double Witherfang. Get double Nikachu. Copy player so you don't get double everything. EDH staple. I don't know what the counters do though. 2 of me is too much. Double life creatures, man, sounds insane. Finally get here and it's almost over. Skip 2 counters on your friend's face and take their wife to the bedroom. What? On that Planeswalker earlier, I think Cohors means when this card enters the battlefield, sacrifice the indicated permanent and move all counters from the sacrifice permanent to this permanent. That's crazy. Yeah, you AI community, you know what those weird abilities mean. Zybers probably make those counters. Do you lose when one of you die? I don't think so. I think the copy of you gets to play on and still win in... like for you. But wait, there's more. That's right. The name says it all. Anyway, I think this card is stupid, to be honest. It's very memey and stuff, but never gonna happen. Okay, Neprentiz, Oren of the Fiend, black 2 generic 2/2 spirit, flying. You may cast non-creature spells without paying their mana cost. What? What? Oh god! Oh god! Okay, it's broken. We found there's always one outrageously broken card per day. We found it. We found it. That is ridiculous. You can cast non-creature spells without paying their mana cost. For 3 mana! For 3 whole mana. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat, JDev. Who else thinks this is how Wizards of the Coast does R&D now? Yeah, and they just take the best cards that don't completely break the game in 1 turn. Fair and balances. What format do you play? Do you play like a turn 2 format? Like the romance novel, looking at the art though. The romance novel art. Don't judge a book by its cover though. It's broken. Turn 1 turn 1 Dark Ritual. Thank you for the game. All right, yeah. The game is over. Dark Ritual. Neprentiz, Oren of the Fiend. You guys have any responses? You could respond though. Like, let's say you have 1 gigantic broken spell. Like, if you have to cast most sorceries, your opponents do have the ability to respond with like with removal. Don't know how good it's gonna be though. Ban Dark Ritual. That's what broke it. Yep, we're banning Dark Ritual. Could you make this your commander? Oh my god! Oh my god, it is your commander! If it dies... I didn't even catch that. It's a legendary creature spirit. Coming to a commander set near you. God, this is just ridiculous. Trevor with the super chat, thanks so much. Look at me, I'm the DCI. The DCIA. Oh, so no, it's the DCAI. There you go. The DCAI. Man, imagine these games being played out. Shadow, the Lost Autumn. White, white, white. 4 generic. 5/5. Devoid. It's a dragon. The AI likes the dragons, I think. They have a... Or maybe there's just a lot of dragon art on the internet that they can use. They're like, we're going to make a lot of dragons. It's easy to make art out of this. Legendary creature dragon, devoid, so it has no color, flying. Target player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library. This seems pretty fair. This is actually pretty fair, all things considered. 7 mana for this effect, not bad. And if your opponent just drew a bunch of cards, nope, sorry. It's going straight back, right back where it came from. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Actually fair. High CC could be your... Would you play this as your commander? This might suck as your commander because it has devoid. So how does that work with commander rules? Are you allowed to play with white cards in your commander deck, or does everything, or is it technically not a white card, so you have to play with colorless cards? Devoid is it has no color. Oh yeah, it's a static ability. I'm sure it's supposed to be ETB, so it's a static ability. Target player shuffles it. Okay, shuffle. You drew a card, shuffle it back. I'm sure that's supposed to mean ETB. Shuffle the stuff. Could be a reanimated target. I think you can still play white cards. I don't know. I don't know the rules to Commander. You know, I just be making it up at this point. The card's color is colorless, but it has color identity based on the mana pips in its rules text. Okay. Color identity is based on the mana. Frankly, none of the rules make any sense to me. Golos was Wooburg. Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. That's true. Golos was Wooburg. Okay, just to, you know, change the thing to ETB and we can print it. We can print it. Oh, and that was another wonderful week of rating AI-generated Magic cards. Thank you so much for... And if you want to be here and rate the cards with us, you got to be here Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thanks so much for the super chats, everyone who's become a member of the channel. The channel is growing. We're getting stronger, and it lets me know that I got to keep doing this every morning with you. But thank you, everyone, for showing up today and having fun. Letting me know, you know, which of these cards are legal, which ones are not, how to break them. I use you as my hive mind. And you guys are the real show. So keep brewing up those coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup. Oh, thanks so much for the super chat.